Well guys, the bad news is the weather outside is absolutely horrific. The good news is we got some shiny new parts for the old puppy dog here. Let's see if we can get this girl back together. All right, Bill. You're a lot quieter than Aaron.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he likes to talk a whole lot. You just work. I like you a lot better on days like today.
Right?
So,
yeah.
All right, I had to run after some parts. Bill has spent all morning up here getting everything cleaned up, polished, and inspected. We got the exhaust studs in the head, got the new piston back on the old rod. Getting ready to slide the new liner down the block, but before we do that, we want to check what they call liner protrusion, which is basically how high the liner sticks up above the block. The Mack book over there says, according to the spec, we need to be somewhere between 23 and 29 thousandths. This isn't the proper way to do this. They actually make like a depth gauge micrometer, but guess what we don't have, Bill? We're gonna get by with a little bit of improvising. So basically we're gonna zero that out. I don't know if you guys can see over there. We're gonna zero that out. I'm gonna slightly twist it off the block, and that one there is 25 thousandths, which is pretty much exactly where we need to be.
That's where we need.
That's the middle of the spec. So
yeah.
We're gonna go down through here, check every one of these, and make sure they're all within spec. I think they all gotta be. They can't be no more than 3 thousandths off, and they gotta be between 23 and 29. Which, spoiler alert, we actually already checked them and they're all good. So
no more than 3 thousandths difference between liner and liner.
Yeah, no more than 3. They got to be at least 23 to 29, then they can't be no more than 3,000 difference. And they were all either 25 or 26. They were all right there together. So
yeah.
We just got to hope that one is the same as the rest.
It should be.
I like the way you think, Bill, but it don't always work that way. All right. So Bill's got all this cleaned up real well. We do have a small little pit in the counter bore right there, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. We do got the special sauce Mack sealant to put in there. I even borrowed the proper liner installer tool, Bill. Ain't you proud of me?
Oh yeah. Don't have to use a block of wood and a hammer?
Well, we got to use a block of wood and a hammer to get it down far enough that we can get the liner installer on it. So, all right, first things first, let's get some, get this out of here before I lose it. Let's get some sealant down in there. That's the old liner that's damaged. The new liner that's brand new and ready to go in is right here. Look at that beauty. All right, we got our special sauce silicone down there. It's supposed to be the magic miracle stuff. I guess we'll drive it down there as far as we can with a block of wood, and then we'll take that liner installer tool and push it in the rest of the way. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready, sure. Yeah.
Now, I don't want to mess up my silicone.
Top of it over this way a little bit.
How about that?
How about that?
It's like it's meant to go there. I don't think we need the block of wood.
Yeah.
Just need our installer tool.
Well, your black wood might put it all the way down if you just tap it lightly. I don't know how hard that is. Now you think you're going to pull it down, aren't you?
Yep. All right, so this should fit in there. This should go across here. Should line up with 2 different head bolts. It'd be better if it was these closer. There we go. All right, liner's in, Bill. Let's check and see what we got here. Zeroed out. First notch, second notch. It's 26. It's all right in line with.
It's right in line where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. I guess it's time to put a piston in the hole.
I guess so. That You know, but that 1/1000th, when you put the head on there and pull it down,
It might squish
it'll
that
go down
out.
thousandths
Yeah.
out.
Well, I'm sure that fire ring will take up a little bit of difference.
Oh, yeah. But you know, there may be enough of that little silicon underneath there
Yeah.
yet that you're going to finish squirting out. Like, when you're talking about 1/1000ths,
You're not, yeah.
you're not talking about anything.
At least we don't have, I mean, if one of these was way low or way high,
Yeah.
that's a big issue.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think all of them being consistent is probably about as important as anything.
Well, that was the reason I was talking about that ledge down in there, that offset that sets on.
Yeah.
If that's wore down, that would have been down, that would have been a reason to blow that ring.
Right, right. Well,
I don't know, does Mack make where you shim?
Yeah, they make shims.
Well,
They actually got a tool down there you can cut that counterboard if it gets too pitted.
well, when you get like 2 or 3 thousandths off, you have to cut the counterbore to put a thicker shim in,
Right.
because you can't get one that
Right.
thick. Yeah, that's the way all the companies are.
All right, get our piston loaded in our ring compressor
I think
here. That is
try to hold it so it's straight. I believe that's good right there.
So these rings do go in a certain way. They got little dots marked up. Got 2 compression rings, 1 O-ring, oil ring, I should say. We're gonna give her some liberal lubrication here. Make sure she slides down in there good. The wind is a-blowing out there. I think we'll have to put that in from the top, Bill, otherwise we won't be able to get it. Well, I guess it don't matter, because the piston's gonna come out of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. Should be ready to load in the hole.
We're ready.
All right, now this has to go a certain way,
Yeah.
because everything has to face towards the front.
Is that front right there?
That's right there.
Okay, I got it now.
Got her?
Yep. You don't want to hit too hard. Oh, you get down there and catch it. If you hit it, that sucker will take off.
You think it'll take
Oh,
off?
yeah, it'll take off.
I don't think it will, Bill.
All right, well, it's up to you. You want me to drive it some?
I'll drive it some.
Okay.
You got a little faith, Bill.
All right, if it goes down through there, don't blame me.
Look at that. She went right on in there.
Oh, yeah. It don't hit it anymore, because it's gone. That last, it went about a 1/4 inch, that last bump.
Let me get underneath and we'll get her lined up on the crank. All right, if you guys look close, the top of this piston's got a round dome on it. The rest of them have all got a point. Long story short, we've got the wrong piston, folks, but the good news is we still have the right liner, and the old piston is still in good shape. So we're gonna pull that one out, switch it back out for the old one, and then continue on from there. Voila, Bill, that one now matches the rest.
Yeah. Looks like it.
All right.
Give me the hammer.
I'm going underneath.
All right, you get ready to catch it, because it's coming in fast.
All right, come on down nice and easy.
Yeah, that's about easy. I
Let me put a little bit of oil on that.
just touched it and the way it went. You got oil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some, not as much as I'd like, but I got some. There we go.
You got it?
Yep, she's sitting on there. I'll get my caps lined up now. 4, 4.
Okay, you said 16 millimeter 12-point.
Yep. There we go. All right, so we can get torqued to 30, foot-pounds, then we go 90 degrees. So torque them, gonna put a line on them. And we're gonna go 90. Well, we just lost power, Bill.
There it went.
All right, piston's all torqued off. Went ahead and got our new head gasket set in here. These are them new fire rings. That's what seals. That's what actually failed on that last one. These ones that are a little bit different are the water jackets. But I think we'll go ahead and set. We got these little dowels right here. Kind of line everything up. Guess we'll set her in there. We're running on generator power right now because we lost power. So hopefully we got enough air left in the hoist to get her up and over. All right, before we set this head down on here, went ahead and put the intake manifold on it, put the water jacket on it. We do have this one air line back here that actually goes around and feeds air into the air compressor. So we're gonna have to be a little bit careful and make sure we get that all lined up before we go back on. But let's set this first head down in here. Bill actually had to take off. We got a pretty nasty storm that just come through here. He had to go deal with a little bit of storm damage and had another meeting. So we're gonna keep on going and doing what we can do. That is where that other line goes into. So I have to make sure that gets in there properly. Get that one set down on there. We'll probably go ahead and set the front head down on there as well. Put a straight edge across them, make sure they line up good. The dowel pins should pretty much do that for us, but since we got them both off, we'll just kind of take that plan of action. So, all right, set ahead. All right, head number one is set. Time for head number two. All right, heads are set down on there and look good. One problem. They're not bolted down, they're just sitting down. That is probably the worst part about this job is torquing these heads. Fun. So basically what I did is once I got them down on there, they're on the dowel pins, but they will move a little bit. I took a straight edge and went down these exhaust manifold faces and got them adjusted to where they're just right. We'll put the bolts in here. There's longs and shorts. The book calls for a little bit of oil on them, which I got right here. And you start in the center and work your way out in a circle, and you'll go 50 pounds, 125, and 205. And then after you run it for a while, you're supposed to undo each one and then retorque it to 205. Not sure if that's going to happen or not. It might possibly, but pretty boring operation. So I'll let you guys watch on time lapse as I fight with some bolts. All right, there you have it, guys. Heads are down and torqued. It's not horrible, just a whole lot of yanking on a torque wrench, but we got them all. Glad I went through and marked them because I actually missed those two right there if you seen the time lapse, and went back and checked them all one more time. So we should be good to go. Excuse me, also did a few knick-knack things. There's a plug back here. This head is made to go in either position. You got a crossover tube here, and then you got a fuel return line right there. So basically, there's a passage through there. You know, these injectors go down in there. That fuel that's excess can pass through and get back out. So next thing we need to do is install the injectors. They go down in those holes right there. Got a little alignment pin, and they got a cap that go on top of them. Got new crush washers on them. Got new O-rings on them. I'm gonna brake clean them off real good. We'll slide them down the hole, and we'll brake clean them off, put some fresh oil on them, and slide them down the hole and tighten them down, and we'll be on the valve train. All right, injectors are all in. That's pretty painless. Next thing we need to do is put all the valve bridges on. And a valve bridge is just that. It bridges from one valve to the other. The only thing you gotta be a little bit careful with is this is an intake valve bridge because they don't have a plunger right here. And the head's actually labeled intake and exhaust. So that one will go right there. This here is an exhaust one. I don't know if you guys can see. See how it's got that little plunger right there? That's actually what activates the jake brake. So that'll have to go right there on that one, like so. That's another exhaust. That's not the exhaust, that's the exhaust. And that's another exhaust one. Goes there. Trying Trust me, if we get these wrong, we'll figure it out really quick a little bit later. And once we get them all on, we'll have to adjust them all. Good exhaust. Another exhaust. Should get that one. An intake. An intake. And there's an exhaust. Got one in the wrong spot somewhere. Where did we screw it up at? There it is right there. Whoa, hello. That is an exhaust. And this is the right one. There you go. Exhaust intake, exhaust intake, exhaust intake, exhaust intake, exhaust intake, exhaust intake. All right, now we gotta adjust them. All right, I'm gonna show you how to adjust one of these, and then I'm gonna go through and adjust the rest. But basically the whole idea is that it touches both valves at the same time. So basically you just turn it down till you feel it start to touch. Hold the nut there, or hold the screw, and then tighten down the jam nut. Not a whole lot to it. There we go. The way these exhaust ones work, whenever the jake brake actuates, it shoves that pin down and it just pops that one exhaust valve open instead of both. But they're a little more difficult to adjust because they're a little bit tighter clearance in there, but basically the same idea. So let me go through and get all these adjusted, then we'll put the rockers on. All right, next on the list, we need to put all the push rods in. These also got to be a little bit careful about what goes where. The exhaust ones have this cool little spring feature on them. These engines had some issues early in their life about wiping out some cams, especially on the exhaust lobes. And that kind of helps alleviate that problem. So this engine's been updated when I had a camshaft put in. Well, I guess that was back before I was doing YouTube, because I didn't video any of it. So get the rest of these in here, and then we'll get the rockers cleaned up and get those set down on there. All right, next thing to go on is the rocker shaft. And it does just that. Rocks back and forth and opens and closes all the valves. I got her backwards here. Which way are we going, folks? There we go. This thing does have an oil feed right here. I got that O-ring lubed up. Put a little bit of oil on top of all the push rods. Also put a little oil on top of all the bridges. Everything, that one's upside down. No wonder we're not going. There we go. Fits like a glove. Got it. All right, up next, jake brake housings. So this is the jake brake housing, or the engine brake housing, whatever you want to call it. Basically what this thing does is use hydraulic pressure to open an exhaust valve at the top of compression stroke. So there's a plunger right here. See how that nut's different? It's like a castle nut type deal. So basically whenever you hit this solenoid, it traps oil in this housing. Whenever this exhaust rocker starts to move, it comes over here and shoves that plunger down. We talked about on the other side, and it pops that valve open at the top of compression stroke, which relieves that pressure, which is the noise you hear out the exhaust pipe. It's kind of hard to explain. It's a pretty cool theory of operation. These actually got an update where you put an external oil feed line on it right here, because they have a hard time keeping oil in the jake housings. That's why the jakes, you'll hear like low RPMs, they'll cut out on the truck. I actually ordered that kit to put on this truck, but it didn't come in time, and we got to go. All right, now we got everything up here. I'm gonna go through real nice and easy. Just kind of snug that down. You gotta be careful, make sure all your push rods and stuff are still in, because you're actually opening and closing, or opening valves as you do that. I really want to get them tight because we'll come back later and hit them with a torque wrench. Everything looks pretty good. Let me torque him down, we'll call it good. All right, these guys torqued to 40 foot-pounds. The light's dying. Let me rephrase that, my light is dead. All right, there you have it, guys. Next thing we need to do is go through and adjust all those valves, but I think Bill's gonna be back to help me in the morning, so I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna crawl underneath and put this oil pan back on. There is nothing fun or exciting about that, so I ain't gonna video any of it. I'll catch you guys in the morning when it's time to adjust some valves. Slight change of plans. It's actually Friday afternoon. I thought I was gonna be a nice guy, go in early, spend some time with the family, but there's like 30 kids in my house. So this is much more enjoyable to sit out here in the peace and quiet and work on the old Mack, if you guys know what I mean. So anyways, I kind of just been out here piddling, killing some time, and next thing you know, I got this whole side back together, and I forgot to video any of it. I apologize for that. We got all the intake manifold back on, got the water jacket back on. If you guys are doing any of these trucks, there's one bolt right here. You got to remember to put this bolt in the water jacket before you put it up there, because it will not clear the intake, and then you're in a big trouble. But I got all the wiring harness all secured, everything hooked up, all the hoses back on. Went ahead and pulled all the filters, fuel filters, oil filters, water filters. Before we fire this thing back up, we'll get all new fluids in it. But everything's clicking along so good. I don't want to quit. Let's go ahead and throw the exhaust manifold on this thing. You got everything cleaned up, get all the new gaskets on the head there. We'll get it up there, get it torqued off, and then that'll allow us to get all these unit pump injection lines on, and we'll be one step closer. Let's put a turbo on. In case you guys are wondering, yeah, that's not light. Come on, buddy. Look at that. Woo! Look at beauty. Forgot to mention, I went ahead and stuck that number 6 injector line in the hole back there. Just a little easier to get in when the exhaust manifold's not in the way, but you can't actually tighten it up. You gotta wait till you get the exhaust manifold in to actually tighten it down. So get the rest of these nuts started and we'll get them torqued. $80 foot-pounds, if anybody's wondering. That's what these boogers get torqued to. Bam. All right, now the exhaust manifold is torqued down. I've been putting these injector lines in there. Didn't video any of these, kind of a pain in the butt to get to. This nut right here, whenever you tighten it down, it presses that tip up against that injector we put back in there earlier. Not in this head, in the back head, obviously. But it goes down here to this little electronic unit pump, they call it. Usually tighten that end up first while doing the wrench. Oh, there she is. And then we come up here and tighten this end up. Oh man, I need 2 hands for that. Well guys, there it is. We are getting close. We are a lot farther along this evening than I thought we were going to be. That is for sure. I think we're pretty much down to running the overhead, getting some of the intake piping on, getting filters and fluid in this girl, hit the key and see what happens. But that's going to be a wrap for tonight. I'll catch you guys in the morning. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Mike.
I got a little bit done last night without you.
Yeah, you done a lot better without me.
I don't know about that.
Got a lot more done if I'd been here.
Well, I had a house full of kids, so I had an incentive to stay out of the house. So.
Oh, I guess that's a good reason then.
All right, so we're adjusting valves this morning. It's going to be really hard for you guys to see, but there's an adjustment right here. Hope you can see where Bill's sliding that feeler gauge in right there. That's the exhaust, right?
Huh? No, I'm on the intake.
Oh, you're on the intake. You're right.
That's the exhaust right there, isn't it? Yeah.
So this is cylinder number 2. Right here, we're going to adjust this one, and this one. That's the jake brake housing up there. So you tight or loose on that one, Bill?
Yeah, I'm tight. Need to be loosened up.
Loosen up. All right, hold on.
You must have tightened them up right after
We wanted
Terry.
those things to stay last time we did this, didn't we?
Okay.
All right. You good?
Right there.
Okay. All right, here's that one.
Okay.
I'd show you the jake brake adjusting, but it's based between that little pin and that yoke, but it's hard to see, and it gets adjusted with this right here.
It's tight. Now, we may have to, let's loosen this up and get it right. We may have to go back and readjust that other. It may have some pressure on it.
You ready?
Yeah, I'll loosen it up. Some more, yeah. Evidently, I'm not quite a right spot. Okay, more yet. I'm not in the right place or something, Mike. Oh, I wasn't near high enough. I got it in. I got it now. Tighten her down.
Right there.
More. Oop, too much. Hold a second, come out again. It's hard to get it. Okay, now do it.
Oops.
That's too tight. Tighten just the top. Right there.
Like it?
Yeah, yeah, that's good. But there you go. Okay.
Like it?
Yeah, let me go down here and see what this, back it down here on. It's good too.
All right, so we got cylinder 1, or cylinder 6, and cylinder 2 done. Now we gotta go back underneath,
Number 4.
crank it, and we'll be on cylinder number 4. I'll show you how that works real quick. All right, so whenever we go underneath, this is what we're looking for. This flywheel's got marks on it. You see valves 1 and 6, valves 3 and 4, valves 2 and 5. We are currently at 2 and 5, so we should be looking for 3 and 4. So let's go see if we can find them. Hopefully if you guys can see, I've got this marked from last time. There's 4 little dots are 5 little dots and 2 little dots. And there's a white line right there, basically marking which line that is. We're gonna use our barring tool here. We're gonna go on around. Let the disc go with the light. Should be getting close. It comes right there. Look at that. That should be 3 and 4 right there, Bill.
All right.
So we're on cylinder number 4, compression. You guys seen the procedure? Here we go. Bill and I got the top side of the engine all buttoned up. We got all the heater control stuff on. Got all these bolts back in these hoses. Bill's tidying up a few wires over there. Next thing on our list is the return oil off the turbo. Got an O-ring on one side. Slides right down that little tube there. Come on now. And then it's got a little gasket and 2 bolts that go on this side, and that bolts right up to the bottom of that. So I'm gonna get this on. There's a couple guards and shields we're gonna put on over here, and then we're gonna be on to exhaust and intake piping. I just get it at Schaefer's. I got this side of the engine all decked out, looks good. Bill's getting the filters on the other side. We're gonna go ahead and get her topped off with oil, get some antifreeze in it. And it's gonna be time to hit the old key and see if we can make some smoke. Pick up some tools.
Well, pick them up, get some of your sockets back in the phosphate along there. If I can figure that out.
We're definitely getting close. Oh yeah, she's building fuel pressure, Bill.
Is she? Oh boy. We're going places now.
I hope you're right. Well, Bill, you ready to see what happens?
I guess we're as good as I can think.
Moment of truth.
Sooner or later, it's going to have to happen.
Yeah. I don't want to go back to horse and buggy, so.
Yeah, you know, maybe I need to run outside right quick before we fire up, in case pieces starts flying.
We gotta have faith, Bill.
Oh, I know I got faith. I think it's going to run perfect. I'm ready to listen to it purr.
She's alive and she sounds good so far. I don't see any leaks. The noise is gone, so that's good. What, you like a blister? You show up when the work's done? Where was he having all the little hand jobs we needed?
I don't know. He showed up when to take the gourd.
You showed up for the front part. Showed up for a test drive, then we get you a dirty nose. Look at it, now you got a black nose.
Tell him you come here to take all the credit. Somebody has to do that.
Well, Bill, she sounds good. I don't see anything leaking. I said we check fluids one time, and I'm gonna take her for a road test, see what happens.
Okay.
it still runs. It's like a go-kart without a trailer behind it. Guys, I believe we got her. We took about an hour test drive, checked all the fluids. Everything looks good, seems to run pretty good. Got her hitched back up the trailer. I think she's time to put the old puppy dog back to work. Well, guys, other than getting this disaster of a shop cleaned up, good thing man behind the scenes ain't here. He'd not be happy about that one, but the truck is back on the road. That is the main thing. We were down for 2.5 days, and it cost me about $2,800 to do all these repairs, which for the amount of work we did and the parts we put on this truck, I am tickled to death. But I kind of mentioned in the last video, that's why I like these Mack trucks. Parts are available, parts are cheap. I know how to work on them. So if I have a problem like this, I'm gonna address it quick and get back on the road, because it is never at a good and convenient time. But check this out. We do have some leftover parts. We got a brand new piston and piston skirt that was technically installed in the truck and then not used. Tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna inscribe my name and the date on that thing. We're gonna put that thing up on eBay and sell it. And know what all we're gonna do with all the proceeds?
No.
We're gonna donate them to the Derby Community Association.
Nice.
Nice. So if you guys want a piece of the puppy dog that you see in this video, I'll post the eBay link down below. Check it out and get you a souvenir and help out the local community. Awesome, right?
Nice.
All right, truck's on the road. Tell them thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Give it a big old thumbs up. And if they haven't subscribed already, they want to make sure they don't miss out on a road trip, they need to hit the subscribe button.
Yep.
All right, catch you guys on the next one. Later.
Bye.